What's up, YouTube? Today's video, EM2 versus FARA. We are going to discuss and compare the two rifles. For example, we've got the EM2, which is the newest assault rifle in the Call of Duty Warzone and Cold War series. The thing is amazingly powerful. It's got great distance. I think it was actually built for distance, giving the scope that is automatically attached to the weapon. It's a very good gun. It has great damage, an amazing bullet velocity. It's a little slow in the rate of fire. And then, of course, we've got the FARA. The FARA is absolutely a great gun as well. It has one of the fastest fire rates in its class and a very, very nice effective damage range and an outstanding recoil. I mean, you can really get this thing down to almost no recoil. It's very easy to control. If you like this video, like the video, I'd very much appreciate it. And I'm going to leave timestamps in the description below. Feel free to jump around to whatever interests you. Let's get into it. For that EM2 build, we're going to go ahead and put on that agency suppressor. It's going to add a nice boost to the effective damage range, as well as help you control the horizontal recoil. The 27.4 Ranger barrel is going to give you increased bullet velocity. It also helps you correct some of that vertical recoil this gun seems to have. Has quite a bit of it, actually. We're going to go ahead and throw on the Axle Arms 3x magnification scope. Now that's going to help you basically see your enemies a little bit more clearly from a distance. And it's not going to put on so much magnification that you're going to have a sniper glint. As far as the ammo goes, we're going to use the 40 round mag. Basically, it's just going to give you a little bit more ammo, doubles the amount of ammo, and it's the only one that doesn't decrease your ADS speed. Now we're going to go ahead and throw on the Field Agent grip, and that's basically just for more recoil control. After you throw on these attachments, your EM2 is going to be quite a bit better. In fact, your ADS is going to decrease to 352 milliseconds. Your magazine size is going to be increased to 40 rounds. Your damage is going to be increased at range by 10%. And your bullet velocity is going to be 1,192 meters per second. Freaking fast, baby. Knock, knock. Well, who's there, you ask? The guy reminding you to like this video. As far as your FARA build goes, you're going to use the GRU suppressor, and what that's going to do is that's going to add your effective damage range. It's going to help with your recoil control. It's going to help with your bullet velocity. It's going to help make this gun a total badass. For the barrel, we're going to use the 19.7 Liberator. That's also going to help with your bullet velocity, your recoil control, and your damage range. Your Axle Arms 3x, again, that's going to add your magnification, so you're not quite going to have a sniper magnification, so there's no glint, and it's also going to help you see the enemies just a little bit better at distance. The Spetsnaz 60 round and the Serpent Wrap. Now what the Serpent Wrap does is that's basically just going to decrease your ADS speed, so you can bring that gun up to your face just a little faster, so you can start killing hostiles. As far as the important stats for the FARA, your ADS time after this build is going to go to 405 milliseconds. Your sprint to fire time will go to 371 milliseconds. And your bullet velocity is a little slower, but it's 1,125 meters per second. All right, so let's take a look at your time to kill and your damage per second. And this is going to be primarily if you're shooting them in the chest. So the EM2 does come in slightly better here. Honestly, I always go with chest first because I aim for the chest and then I go up to the head. However, in this particular matter for the chest, most of this is going to be under 30 meters. And me personally, if my fight's under 30 meters, if it's around 15 to 20, I'm probably using an SMG. Now, if you're using this as sniper support, this is going to be very important because the TTK for the EM2 is going to be a little bit better. And as far as the range goes, the FARA and the EM2 are pretty close when it comes to damage per second and time to kill. So if you're using this as a sniper support, you might go with the FARA, as in my opinion, the FARA is a lot easier to control that recoil. The EM2 has quite a bit of vertical recoil. Now let's take a look at the extremities, TTK and damage per second. And this one, the FARA, pretty much exceeds, but not crazy exceeds, the EM2. However, as I stated earlier, A lot of this fight would be done by an SMG by me, so it's kind of hard to say here. But I do think where it comes to the damage, they're not so different. And again, the FARA is quite a bit easier gun to control than the EM2. So that one would go on personal preference as far as extremities go. But let's be honest, who's actually aiming for the nose, or I'm sorry, the toes, the head, the feet, the legs, the arms? I'm not. I'm aiming for the nose. Actually, like I said, I start in the chest and I go up to the head. All right, now this part is for you beasts out there that can hit in the head, or if you get lucky, I guess, and get 2 or 3 headshots. In the beginning, under 30 meters, they're both relatively close. However, when you get that first and second damage range drop off for the FARA, the EM2 just shines here. It is going to be the one you want to use. I'm going to say this again, the EM2 has quite a bit more recoil and is harder to control, especially in my opinion. The further and smaller that little hostile you're aiming at gets, the harder it's going to be. Now, I'm on PlayStation 5, so I can't adjust my field of view, which makes it even harder to hit them at range. Keep that in mind if you're on console and you can't adjust your field of view. Final thoughts on EM2 versus FARA are like this. Basically, I think the EM2 is a better gun. It does more distance, more range, more damage, slightly better bullet velocity. The ADS time is even maybe a little bit better if you have the right attachments. However, the recoil can be very difficult to control. Even on controller, I have a little bit of issues, especially if somebody's running. If they're standing still, I can drop somebody all day. But when they're running around and, trying to juke you and slide canceling and jumping, it gets hard to control that recoil and hit somebody. FARA, slightly less damage, slightly less range, little bit longer ADS time, but quite a bit, and I do mean quite a bit easier to use. So that's something you really have to take into effect. I think the FARA is still going to remain a viable meta contender. These are my thoughts. See you next time. I'm Bormai, signing out. Wishing you happy gaming.